Certainly a year of adversity, a year where we have had to adapt in a lot of ways.
Gyms and fitness centers are among the hardest hit businesses during the pandemic, but it's not just the owners feeling the impact.
The mass vaccination site at the Spokane Arena is set to open this week, so we're breaking down everything you need to know to get your vaccine.
The light snow across the inland northwest set to continue tonight, and we're already looking ahead to more snow later in the week.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight as Spokane's mass vaccination clinic at the Spokane Arena is set to open by this Wednesday.
KREM 2's vaccine team has been tracking down what you need to know. Amanda Rowley has the latest tonight.
We have been pressing local health officials and Chaz Health for answers to your questions about the mass vaccination site here at the Spokane Arena. Here's what we know so far. The National Guard will be assisting with operations once it arrives this week. The site is expected to open on Wednesday, and those who are getting vaccines are by appointment only. You can register for an appointment on the Chaz Health website, which goes live Wednesday morning. The Spokane Arena will open for COVID-19 vaccinations starting Wednesday. This will not be a walk-up clinic, and there will not be a wait list. It is by appointment only. Here's what you'll need to bring for the appointment: a copy or screenshot of your Washington Department of Health Phase Finder tool showing your eligibility to receive a vaccine, a photo ID, and your insurance card if you have one. If you are uninsured, you will not be charged. Currently, people in the Phase 1A and Phase 1B Tier 1 category are eligible for the COVID vaccine. Vaccines will be administered indoors. According to Chaz Health, this allows staff to properly observe patients for any symptoms 15 to 20 minutes after receiving the shot. The National Guard will be assisting with operations once they arrive next week. The number of patients Chaz can schedule for an appointment will depend on vaccine supply it receives from the state. We want to be very clear. You can only get a vaccine here at the arena with an appointment only. Health officials want to address some posts they've seen on social media about people camping out here for the vaccination. Health officials are discouraging this, and doing so will only disrupt operations here. Now, we have all this information posted on KREM.com, and just text the word vaccine to the number 509-448-2000 for all that information. Reporting from the Spokane Arena, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News. And a vaccine clinic over on the west side is acting as a model for the rest of Washington. In downtown Seattle, 2,000 people were vaccinated just today. That was the goal set by Virginia Mason and Amazon in a first-of-its-kind pop-up event. Tonight, Sebastian Robertson from our Seattle sister station has more.
Amazon already reaching its goal of vaccinating 2,000 people before the end of the event. They've actually opened up to the wait list to allow a few more people in. We haven't seen those long lines that we've seen in other parts of the state or other parts of the country, and this comes as both the governor and the federal government are working to step up the distribution.
With 2 coronavirus vaccines approved, logistics is now this country's biggest hurdle.
Hopefully it works, and hopefully these numbers can start coming down and we can get back to a normal life.
Michael Kolker, one of 2,000 people in Seattle who secured an appointment at this pop-up clinic. All slots were filled up in just 24 hours. Amazon and Virginia Mason and an army of volunteers joining forces.
It's just this phenomenal energy of people who've been waiting for a year, obviously, to find some way through the pandemic, and this is the first step of that.
Under the current guideline, the vaccine is available for free to anyone over 65 or anyone over 50 who lives in a multi-generational household. Couples like Daryl and Priscilla of Seattle.
There's a granddaughter who is starting to pull herself up along that we've never touched.
She was born April 4th, so we've never been able to hold her. So that's the first thing.
A desire that many can relate to, though it's a feeling of hope that most are still waiting for. A vaccine rollout that in reality has been more of a tumble. Here's Governor Inslee Friday as he received his first dose.
We are going to have a dose of patience as well as a dose of this vaccine.
Calling for patience as he sets a new goal of vaccinating 45,000 people a day. That would be a significant increase, as to date, The state has averaged a little over a third of that.
So hopefully, when everybody gets vaccinated, the numbers will start coming down, hospitalizations will go down, and we can start to get back to normal.
People who receive that first dose have about a month before getting the second one. Staff here say that plans are already in the works for a second pop-up vaccination event. They're still working on figuring out the logistics. In Seattle, Sebastian Robertson,
KREM 2 News.
All right, let's switch gears for a moment to talk the weather. We saw some snow here on the Spokane area today. Let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick on the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, when we spoke to you during our 10 p.m. broadcast, it was snowing out there. Is it still snowing right now?
Yeah, still very much lightly snowing, and I know you guys can't see that through the camera out here, but I have an awesome video on my Instagram and Twitter that you can see just how steady but light it is snowing out here. Two more observations. One, there's enough snow that where I've been standing, I have now made an icy spot right beneath my feet. So I'm going to try not to lose my balance here. But two, there is just enough snow accumulation. You might be able to see it on our weather set. Let's see how much I can get to pick up here. Maybe saw that, maybe not. It's only about maybe another 1/10 of an inch of snow in the last hour or two. We've gotten 2/10 of an inch of snow officially at Spokane's airport, which is twice as much as what we've seen all January so far. More light snow expected for tonight as well, but it's not going to fall any harder than it is right now. But it might create a few, like I said, few slick spots, probably on some bridges and overpasses by tomorrow morning. It's 26. That's probably where we're going to stay all night long and through tomorrow morning. It's been below the freezing mark pretty much for the last 48 hours. So this light snow, probably easily less than an inch, maybe a half an inch at most by tomorrow morning. But there's more snow chances to come over the course of this week, especially for this upcoming Wednesday. That's our next weather system, the first of what could be several that move across the region. So I'm going to be timing out this next system that moves through and potentially how much snow that could add. And I think it's going to be more than 2/10 of an inch next time around. I at least can say that for now.
All right, Thomas, thank you very much. Well, we are now 3 weeks into the new reopening plan for Washington. The state's 8 regions can move forward in phases based on 4 different metrics, and so far, no region has met all 4.
In fact, in some areas, things appear to be getting worse in our region. Our Casey Decker is digging into how these metrics are calculated to try and figure out why. Casey?
Well, Whitney, it seems to many people that these numbers from these reports don't match up with the daily updates we're getting here in Spokane. It certainly seems that recently we're doing well locally. Daily case numbers are going down, hospitalizations too. So why are these state reports showing such a poor performance for our region? Well, there are a number of factors.
For one, the daily numbers we get from the health district are just for Spokane County. The state numbers are 9 counties in eastern Washington. Second, SRHD isn't reporting all the same metrics that the state is, namely positivity rate. That's the percentage of COVID tests that come back positive, and it's the one metric eastern Washington has consistently performed poorly in. Third, the state reports just aren't as up to date.
It takes some time before it gets reported to us. Either the clinician doesn't call us with the result, or it doesn't get put into the electronic lab reporting.
The state's acting health officer says they won't publish the rate unless the data analysts are confident at least 90% of tests have been properly reported.
So you can't calculate a positivity rate on partial data, otherwise it gives you an off.
As a result, right now when reports are released on Fridays, the numbers are nearly 3 weeks old. Eastern Washington's first report showed a positivity rate of 17%. The second week it stayed flat at 17%, and the third week it went up to 21%. Given that we need to get down to 10% to move to phase 2, it feels like we're nowhere close and going backwards. But it's also worth noting almost all that data is from December. It's possible what we're looking at there is a holiday spike. With the current reporting methods, we really won't know for sure until more like late February. That's not just frustrating for people reading the reports, the people compiling them don't love it either.
None of us are happy that the delay, that it takes that long for everyone to get their I's dotted and their T's crossed.
In fact, that's why they're currently considering a process where you basically just find one lab in each region and use that lab's data as a sample.
Can you use a system that is more representative of the positivity that is in real time? And that is where the team is going right now. As we're speaking, they're working on it.
In the meantime, that 10% figure seems distant, but health experts say even that is far from the end goal here.
We were very generous in setting the rate at 10%. That is a massively high rate.
Isn't the only important thing here. Obviously, those other 3 metrics matter as well, and beyond that as well, Health experts want to carefully analyze trends and view all the data holistically. Even though reopening is just about checking those 4 boxes, the overall public health response has a lot more to consider. Mark Whitney.
All right, Casey, thank you very much. To some breaking news now. Protests happening right now in Tacoma. Someone setting a fire in the middle of the street not far from where a Tacoma police cruiser ran through a crowd of people last night. Take a look. This is the scene tonight as demonstrators say they are furious over what they are calling police brutality. The officer involved is now on administrative leave. 2 people were taken to the hospital. One was released this morning. No information, though, has been provided about the second person. Police said none of the injuries, though, were believed to be life-threatening. However, city leaders say what happened last night was unacceptable.
Personally, my heart broke. My city has been through a lot.
Now, these videos show the moments that led up to what happened. They show people banging on that officer's car. He appears to back up a little, but then you see surging forward. Kind of hard to tell exactly how many people were hit in the crowd and exactly what happened. But authorities haven't yet released the officer's name as of tonight. But city officials are on record saying they will not let this go unresolved.
Still on the way tonight in basketball news, the WS women have a knack for keeping their games interesting, and it happened again tonight. Our Brenna Green shows us their latest overtime affair coming up next in sports.